But definitely though, like because you got the time to like actually focus on it more, and like you said, to play and to enjoy just being a kid, right?
Yeah, I see. That's one thing I kind of want to go back to when it comes to my content. I want to inspire kids to just play.
Yeah.
No, I think the teenagers we were talking about, where they try to grow up too fast. I find that really annoying because they're still really immature, but they still try to act cool and adult oriented and mature. It's very much you're putting up a front, and it's very easy to see that.
There's so much pressure for like teens to
grow up
older
too
than
fast.
They are.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like a lot of kids try to grow up way too fast. I remember the shop that.
Hello everyone, and welcome to TFOL Talk, the podcast where we shine a light on awesome teen fans in the LEGO community doing amazing things, and maybe the occasional AFOL too. I'm Doodlebricks, aka Kavi, and today we're going to be hanging out with Dom, otherwise known as CoolGuyDom02. How are you doing, man?
How's it going, dudes? I'm doing fantastic, and I'm so excited to be on this podcast. Oh my goodness.
Love it, love it. I'm so glad. I'm very excited too. And I'd say let's just hop into the first question, which is who is Cool Guy Dom and what do you do in the LEGO world?
I ask that question to myself every day. No. Jokes aside, I mainly focus on short form content when it comes to LEGO stuff. A lot of LEGO lifestyle, and then an occasional mock building, or I'll cover some news. I like to cover all LEGO topics because it's pretty much my LEGO page, and what I started as a LEGO content creator was just, this is the LEGO thing that I'm doing today or right now. Let's make a video out of it and share it with other people online. And then that blew up. For the record, I'm 21 years old. Mm-hmm. I started making content 3.5 years ago. August of 2020 was, I guess, when I started really making a lot of LEGO videos, and I started making them on TikTok, which throughout the first year and a half, it kind of accelerated. My numbers did a little bit better than I ever thought they would, and I somehow grew a following by playing with Legos in my bedroom.
Hell yeah.
Which was awesome. It was so awesome, in fact, some producers from Fox was like, hey, wanna join LEGO Masters? And I was like, bro, you're joking. You're joshing me, man. And lo and behold, it was actually true. And one thing that is a big association with my content page is the fact that I was on LEGO Masters with, my good friend and partner, bestest pal in the LEGO community, Ethan the Artisan. Famous guy. If you don't know him, you're living under a rock.
What are you doing if you don't know Ethan?
Exactly. He's got like close to 3 million followers overall, because he's got like 1.4. Listen, I'm not gonna talk anymore about Ethan. He was on the last episode.
Yeah. You can go watch the last episode.
You go watch the last episode of Ethan. He's great. Highly recommend it. But yeah, so Ethan and I were on LEGO Masters. We were on season 3 of LEGO Masters for a couple episodes before we got jabooted. Spoiler alert. But then not too long after that, I was brought back on LEGO Masters for the Holiday Bricktacular special with celebrity guests. And my partner then was a celebrity, and it was Cheryl Hines, which we can go into the topic of that later. But
Definitely.
that was a crazy thing. But to go back to me, I guess my main goal with LEGO content creating is just share what I'm doing and hopefully inspire others to pick up some bricks, use their imagination, and get creative, and just have fun with LEGO.
That is awesome, man. I love that.
Thank you.
We'll definitely get more into a lot of the topics that you mentioned a little bit later in the episode. But my next question is, so you mentioned that you got into LEGO through kind of like the TikTok community, at least the online community. But could you go a little bit more into like how that happened, and also, well, like how and when you got into LEGO in the first place, actually?
Oh, we're going back to like the origins.
Going back to the origins of Dom lore.
So here's some Dom lore for you. I got my first LEGO sets when I was 6 years old. My very first set that I ever opened up was hold on, let me look at it. It's the Lego Star Wars set 7667 Imperial Dropship. I got for my 6th birthday, and then I also got the Lego Indiana Jones motorcycle chase set with the sidecar. Those were my first 2 Lego sets, and I'm about to get a little Lego sacrilegious here because my dad and I, we built them, and he didn't have Lego growing up. Neither did my mom. So to have the toy actually stay together, we made the fatal mistake of gluing them.
No.
My first Lego sets were glued, and immediately, like, I played with the toy for like 30 seconds, and then I distinctly remember, this sucks. something about this is not right. I feel like we did something wrong in my 6-year-old head. But not too long after that, they really enjoyed, me spending time with my dad, building the sets. So then we went to Toys R Us when Toys R Us was still a thing, and I got the Lego Star Wars V19 Torrent, and that was a much bigger set compared to the Battle Pack and the motorcycle chase that I just built.
Just a bit.
They're like those sets were less than 100 pieces, and then the V19 Torrent was probably at least 400 plus.
Damn.
And I remember my dad and I in the room that I am now on the floor playing. We open up the box, we get the pieces out, we look through the instructions. We're like, what the hell are we doing? It was a little complicated for both of us, so we just built random stuff out of it. I never actually built. I had the V19 Torrent, but I never built it. I built the minifigure, of course, and that was my favorite guy ever. I took him everywhere. But eventually I lost him, sadly. No. He's out there somewhere in the world.
If you find it, make sure to mail it back to Dom, please.
Yes, if someone finds my Clone Wars pilot minifigure with black legs, I switched them with black legs because I thought they looked cool. If anyone finds that figure, please return them. I miss them very much. So as I got older, my brothers and I, because I have 2 brothers, I have a younger brother and an older brother, we would get sets, we would play with them, but, and when I was younger, I was very fond of the idea of rebuilding stuff, so I'd get a set, build it, play with it for a little bit, and then turn it into something else, I probably have like a dozen sets that were still built, but I was very into Lego YouTube growing up and watching a lot of mock builders, and I don't know if y'all remember the Lego Club show.
Oh, I love that thing.
So cool.
It is.
So cool, but I remember being inspired by some of the builds on there. So I remember building mechs, I remember building spaceships, I remember building goofy characters as a young kid. But as I got older, let's say probably around 13, 14, I ended up getting into other hobbies, like I collected action figures for a good bit. I got into the Pokemon trading card game for a good bit. There's
that's a dangerous
some Dom
one.
lore.
It's a dangerous one. I got sucked into that one too.
It's a fun one, and although I got a Lego, my younger brother Tony, he still played with Lego quite a bit. I remember I think our favorite sets were probably the Batman sets, because growing up we watched Forest Fire Films 101's Lego animations, which growing up, just because it's a Lego toy does not mean it's kid oriented at all.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know, but I had some serious Lego Batman brain rot because of Forest Fire Films. But when the Batman sets came out again in like 2012, we got them all. We had to get them all.
Damn.
We had the Batcave. We had everything. It was great. We played with them a lot.
The ultimate flex. It's like I got the whole release here.
I got the whole release. It was awesome. We've never done that before. Like growing up, we were used to getting like 1 or 2 sets from themes that were typically the small sets. We didn't have a lot of income at the time.
Right.
2008 recession. Love that. But we get small sets every now and then and gradually grow our collection. But Batman, that was like the first big wave. And then I think the biggest set we ever got growing up was probably the Arkham Asylum from I think 2013 or 2014. Can't remember. But back to like my dark age. We're going into my dark age where I was playing Pokemon for quite some time. Ended up playing Pokemon pretty consistently. I think up until COVID. up until COVID.
Okay.
And once COVID happened, Pokemon, it's a very in-person, the trading card game. I would go to tournaments, compete.
Really?
But I would go to tournaments, compete.
Oh, you were dedicated.
I wasn't that good. I was dedicated. I had so much fun. I'm very competitive. So I love trying to build new decks. But this isn't about Pokemon. But eventually with COVID, I couldn't do Pokemon tournaments anymore because, quarantine and all that jazz. So
world shut down.
The world shut down. So I'm home alone, and I'm bored out of my mind. So I was like, you know what? Let's go back and rebuild some of my old Lego sets as a kid that we had growing up. And I did. And I had so much fun that I decided to, get some new sets. And I ended up, it was around the time I think The Mandalorian was coming out. And it was the time that Lego Masters Season 1 was coming out. So I had Lego Masters be like, this is such a cool show. I'd love to go on it someday. That was foreshadowing.
Hell yeah.
But The Mandalorian was out, and I was like, this show is so cool because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, diehard. I'm not that too inversed with the lore, but any show that comes out, I'll probably watch it. But I remember getting the first new Lego set I bought, getting back into Lego, was the Mandalorian ATST Raider Walker set with the Cara Dune and the Walker.
Because that was like the only Mandalorian set out at the time, wasn't it?
And it was. And for a long time, I feel like it took a while for Lego to put out more Mandalorian sets.
Definitely. After
that. And now it feels like half the Star Wars waves are Mandalorian related. Such a good show. But eventually I started getting more and more sets. And I rebuilt some sets from my childhood, like Palpatine Shuttle, Z95 Headhunter I had grown up. And I rebuilt them. I was like, these are so cool. I want to start building clones. Yeah. I want to build a clone army. This is so cool. And then the 501st Battle Pack came out, the first one from 2020, and I went crazy on them.
That legendary time, my God.
That was an interesting time in the Lego world because they were always sold out. But I got some flack online because around this time I started posting more, and then the Battle Pack came out. So I went hunting for the Battle Pack, and I managed to score like 9 in one day or something like that.
Shoot.
I was saving up my pennies for these clones. Let me tell you, I spent too much money on them. But I remember posting a few videos and on TikTok of me walking through my door. I had a friend help me film it. It was very kind of an arrogant, idiotic video. I look back at it like, what the hell was I doing? I was, I think, 17 at the time. I was like, this guy's an idiot. But I'm just walking in, pretty much just flexing with my 501st Battle Packs, as you did back in 2020. I feel like that was the thing to do.
It's like, look at all the battle packs I got.
Look at all the battle packs that I got that I took from other people.
Yeah, exactly. I got a grand total of 2.
I got 2. But no, I was walking through the door with like 9 or something, like a stack of boxes. And that video on TikTok, at the time, TikTok was still a very new platform, and I started posting Lego content when there was like maybe 6-7 other people were posting Lego content. Now everyone and their mom posts Lego content and are doing great with it. But that video of me walking through the door, I feel like really, it got like 20K. And at the time, it was like, holy crap. I had less than, I think, 1,000 followers, but I bumped up to like 2K followers. I was like, this is crazy. At the time, I was like, this is insane. The people are actually watching my videos. People are commenting that I stole paddle packs from kids. So, like, if people are doing that, that means I'm doing something right.
Right. If people are hating what I'm doing something right.
I'm doing something right. But I just kept consistently posting with trending audios. Early TikTok was very much trending audios. Take an audio and see how you can fit it to your niche. And my niche was Lego. And I was managed to get some fun videos. I remember one of my videos was like, the Anakin line was like, I want more, but I know I shouldn't. And it was me holding my battle packs. My claim to fame at the time. But I started experimenting with other content, like just showing stuff in my collection. Building a set here or there, a little review here and there. I posted a Bionicle video. That did pretty good.
Because you're Bionicle
at the time,
too.
I love Bionicle. We'll get into that later.
Hell yeah.
But it just slowly started gradually growing up until the point where I think it was Brick Fair 2021. By that point, I think I was doing Lego content on TikTok for about a year. Wasn't really touching YouTube. Wasn't really touching Instagram all that much. I was really heading on TikTok because that was the big thing.
Yeah, that was really when the TikTok space was blowing up, wasn't it?
That was the place to be. And Brick Fair, I remember hitting 200,000 followers on TikTok that day, and I was like, wow, in 1 year, which is pretty impressive. I haven't been able to replicate that amount of growth since then, which is completely understandable. Is what it is. Maybe one day, but at the time I was doing pretty good. And I remember meeting other content creators, be like, yeah, I'm on TikTok. I'm a TikTok guy. I remember being Rich Boy J, David Hall, Man Doctor, or M&R.
It took me a second. I was like, wait.
That's if you know, you know.
Yeah.
But no, that was a lot of fun. And and I remember meeting Mark, the Erickson brothers at this Brick Fair. There's an old picture on my Instagram of skinny, scrawny me with short hair.
Little Dom.
Little Dom. Little 17-year-old Dom. 17, 18-year-old Dom. But it'd be funny enough that within, I think, probably 6 months from that Brick Fair, I think that's when it was November of 2021 that I was reached out to by producers or a casting agent from Lego Masters to apply for the show. And that's where things started to get crazy. Right. That's when I contacted Ethan. And by this point, Ethan and I, we knew each other via TikTok, social media. So we've talked and chatted, but we never really sat down and had a huge conversation. Occasionally we'll join each other's lives. And I remember we did a build competition where we had 5 minutes to build Spider-Man.
Ooh, okay.
And it was, we had horrible builds. I don't know if we have pictures of those, probably somewhere on our phones, but they look like you built Spider-Man in 5 minutes. It was pretty bad, but It was fun.
Spooderman.
And then next thing you know, literally Spooderman. Next thing you know, a few months from then, we'd be building all sorts of things on Lego Masters.
Giant stuff, yeah.
And if you have any more, I kind of rambled quite a bit from there. Do you have any other questions?
No worries. Yeah, I do. But basically, so you got to Lego Masters, basically. And then what kind of, we'll talk about that more later, but what happened after Lego Masters? What do you do now in the Lego space?
Man, that's a great question. I have very experimental content. I feel like I don't want to put myself in one niche or style of content and get myself stuck in that in case I hate of it. I try to go just for a Lego lifestyle approach. If I'm doing this today in Lego, I'm gonna just film my Lego adventures, build a fun mock, build a Minecraft sword out of Lego, build Freddy Fazbear's head out of Lego. I don't know. I like to when it comes to mocks, I'm trying to do a new series where I build, if something's relevant or popular, I might take a whack at building it out of Lego, see how it does on the algorithms, see how it does as a post. In terms of professional mock builds, I haven't made too much content related to it because I'm waiting for a better opportunity, and I want to, polish this mock a little bit before I make a YouTube video about it. But this past February, I went to Atlanta BrickCon where I was involved with a collab, the Enchanted Forest by Maticus Bricks, and I built a mushroom village. Which Beyond the Brick, if you want to see. Beyond the Brick did a video on our entire collab, which was really cool.
They did. You should definitely go check that out.
It's very cool. But I guess what I do now after Lego Masters, I like going to conventions, and I have some really cool conventions lined up. I am happy to announce, I haven't officially announced it, but I will be working with Brick Fan Expo and going on their summer tour of conventions this year down south. So if you are unfamiliar with Brick Fan Expo, they're a convention. I think they're one of the fastest growing and probably my personal favorite so far conventions to go to. And I'm very happy that they're going to be having me go to these conventions. And at these conventions, I showcase the mocks. I like doing videos where I showcase mocks, quick little, short bit format videos. Try to get,
because not everyone documenting the experience, right?
Not documenting the experience, and that's where the vlogs. I do convention vlogs, which I'm actually working on one right now, trying to get that out ASAP. But those are a lot of fun because I like to see as those, one, they're most enjoyable for me because I get to look back at them and watch them and relive these conventions because they're so much fun.
They are.
But then I also get to show people what it's like to go to these conventions almost as an exhibitor, like a guy on the inside.
Definitely.
I like to think of it.
I like that you do that as well, because it gives people the chance who can't go to see what it's like to kind of be, it's not just like, somebody walking around the convention with a camera. They're getting to see the experience of actually being there from your perspective.
Yeah, I like to, if I'm doing activities, I like to do activities, and I'll film that and be like, this is what you can do.
Absolutely.
Or look at the vendors and give my thoughts on the vendors, because I think a lot of people look at these conventions and they over-exaggerate that these vendors have insane stuff, and they do, but, it comes at an extreme cost price, which exactly. I will be talking about that in my next convention vlog.
Cool.
Because it is a topic that I don't see a lot of people covering that I think should be covered.
Definitely.
Yeah, what else do I do? What else do I do content-wise?
Nah, you're good, man. I think that really covered it well. And also, I was going to say that, it's really another reason why I find, like, for example, your convention vlogs really, like, a great thing is because, I mean, your 2022 Virginia vlog is why I went to Brick Fair, Virginia in 2023, because I saw that.
Are you serious, bro?
Yeah, dude, I saw that
so
and I was
cool.
like, that looks like so much fun.
It was
like,
a lot of fun.
I'd seen conventions like around before, but I never had looked into them too deeply, and I was like, man, I don't know if like when I'll ever be able to go to a convention. Then I saw that and I was like, okay, I need to go. I have to go. Come on, gotta make this happen.
I have a sad truth. I never actually finished that vlog series, unfortunately.
You didn't,
did
you?
I didn't. I didn't. I think I got 1 or 2 parts, but I was going to post at least, I think, a 3rd or 4th one. But one thing about these conventions, and I struggle with it even now, even though I've been doing it for like 2 years now, I find struggle having enough storage on my phone. Because I film with my phone because it's just easier for me. And then I struggle with actually recording more, because eventually it's very easy to get caught up in the fun of everything.
Definitely.
And then I forget to be, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be documenting and being a content creator, but at the same time, that takes away from the experience overall, because, I want to be there and have fun with my friends and not shove cameras in their faces. So it's hard to find the happy medium.
You gotta balance like the actual just enjoying the experience versus as well documenting it. It's kind of that, like you said, a happy medium you gotta find there.
Yeah, it's tricky, but I feel like I've been getting better at it.
Definitely.
Over the years.
I don't blame you, man. I still have yet to edit together my Brick Fair, Virginia film. Like, I've been playing that in my head, but I haven't gotten the time to yet.
How I see it, I think a lot of people rush to get their convention vlogs out ASAP. I mean, I didn't get my first part of Atlanta out for like a few weeks. It's going to be another, I think, a month since my second part's coming out. Duck Bricks didn't post his Atlanta BrickCon video till like a month and a half after the event.
Yeah.
And I think it's not about, I mean, you can try to be trendy with it and try to get it out ASAP to get better clicks or whatever. But I think if you want to get a more polished video, don't worry about
quantity, right?
Quality over quantity. Like, I have a lot of footage from when I went to Brick Rodeo last year. I don't think I'll be going this year, but I hope to have that video, all that vlog, because I didn't realize how much great footage I have from that. I had footage, I went to this convention, Brick Rodeo. I went with Ethan Yarson, Epic Bricks, Rob the Builder, and Lego.Joey. Some of my bestest friends, some of the coolest people in the community. And I have some really fun clips. So I'm looking forward to editing that vlog and posting it around Rodeo this year. Hopefully, we'll see. But
nice.
It's one of those things where like I think with vlogs, I don't think you need to be too concerned about getting the timing of it out. And maybe that's just me procrastinating and making an excuse for my procrastinations, but
I get you.
Whatever.
Though. It's often about like taking the time to really polish it, and I get that. So before we get on to like some more of the meat of the questions, I want to really quickly ask for anybody who's interested, where are you now most relevant in the online Lego community? Because I know things have changed since TikTok blew up, and over the years it's kind of shifted around. So people want to find you and your content. Where's the best place for them to go?
I would say it's tricky because I really am spread out between mainly I think Instagram and TikTok still.
Okay.
I'm trying to grow more on YouTube, and I've just been re-uploading my shorts on there and an occasional vlog there. But I hope to be starting to streaming Lego live builds on YouTube.
Cool.
Once I get that software set up and get a actual set schedule. But I think I'm still mostly predominant on TikTok. That's where I have the most of my followings. But at the same time, every now and then I'll post a video. I think it's no surprise, and if for any I'm gonna tangent off a little bit, get sidetracked. I think when it comes to short form content, if you're posting a 1.5-minute video or a 30-second video as a short, post it on Shorts, YouTube, Instagram Reels, or TikTok. Because if you have that short form content, might as well throw it out. I've been slowly, I think it's smart depending on the platform. You might want to tweak that short form content a little bit depending on the platform.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll post a video on TikTok and it'll do all right, but then it'll do way better on Instagram. And that's just because I feel like the Lego community is more stronger on Instagram. I feel like my following on Instagram is more dedicated Lego people, where I think what I have on TikTok is more Lego novices or just people that enjoy a creative individual posting Lego videos in his
they just
childhood
enjoy
bedroom.
The content but aren't necessarily like doing it themselves. They're very invested in the overall community type thing.
Yeah, for sure. That. But no, I think it's a little mix up between Instagram and TikTok.
Nice. All right, cool. So what was it that made you start wanting to take Lego content seriously? Was it the kind of explosion that you saw from TikTok, or was it something else?
I would say I never took content creation seriously, I think, up until Lego Masters.
Really?
Because I was posting consistently on TikTok daily. Sometimes I'd post 5 little videos a day.
Damn. That's impressive.
But if you look back at the videos, it was very easy content. I wouldn't say it was more of a grind, of course, but it wasn't that crazy in my opinion. Okay. Or maybe I'm underselling myself. I don't know.
Who knows?
But I started taking it seriously, I think, after Lego Masters, because it really showed. I mean, that's when I really saw the impact I had on the community and the potential I have making content. Because if a network of $1 million or whatever Fox is worth can recognize that this kid's doing something right, he's worthy of going on TV. That was really the nail in the coffin. It was all right, I should take this more seriously, because I think I found my place in the world where I can make a difference making content, because at these conventions I meet these people and they see oh my gosh, you're Cool Guy Dom, I love your content. You're Don from Lego Masters, you're great on the show, and I meet these people in person, and I think to myself, wow, I meet these people at these conventions, and it really shows me that, wow, I feel like I'm making an impact on these people's lives. That's incredible, and that's not something everyone can do. And given the blessed opportunities I've been given thanks to my social media and Lego Masters, I've been kind of slowly making a career out of this. I mean, I'm not a full-time content creator by all means, but it's something that the revenue I make can go back into the content, equipment, or travel for conventions, and it's not burning a hole in my pocket personally. And it's something that I think growing up I never really had a huge dream of what I want to do for the rest of my life, but once I started making content and seeing the impact and the difference that I was making in these people's lives, even if it is just a small chuckle from one of my videos, or I inspire someone to start getting into mock building or taking their Lego collection more seriously, or just simply enjoying the brick, I was that's worth something to me. I don't want to lose this. I want to keep working at this, because I feel like all these people have supported me to get to as far as I am now. I don't want to waste this opportunity and give up on this dream. I want to keep at it and really take this seriously and post consistently and do whatever I can to get my name out there, and just don't give up. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, I think.
That was so inspirational. Oh my God. That was amazing, dude. I absolutely love that, though. But that's really amazing, kind of what you said there about with the Lego Masters thing, and seeing kind of the impact you made on people, on the positive impact you made on people's lives from that, and the fact that you're doing it with something you enjoyed as well, that it kind of like you said how before you didn't really have necessarily a dream of what you wanted to necessarily do when you got older, but it's amazing that you kind of found a purpose like that from that experience, and that a purpose in that world anyways, that kind of thing. That's incredible.
I don't think that I didn't look for my purpose. I think it found me, and I think my purpose here is to just be creative, inspire others, and build Lego and have fun.
Exactly.
And try to push that message of just I was a 17-year-old kid on the internet making Lego videos in his bedroom, which wasn't, at the time, I got a lot of flack for it. Not a lot of flack for
Really?
it, but an occasional diss here and there. An
From
occasional,
people in
like,
person or online?
a little bit of both.
Whoa, okay.
Some backhanded compliments from some of my peers, which, I mean, I don't take too personally, but it's like, okay, well, what are you doing? You know, not to be disrespectful, but
Yeah,
I think what I'm doing on the internet or trying to be an impactful individual in this world is better than putting someone else down for what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But where was I going with this?
Take your time.
I don't know.
I chop out if there's any like really long pause, so you can take a minute to think if you want.
Okay. Thank you. What was I talking about?
About like when you started to take it seriously, like the content creation stuff and the impact that you felt you made from Lego Masters and that you saw happen and the purpose it gave you.
I don't know. So like I see this impact that I'm making, and I was like, I'll reiterate it again. I don't want to give up on this. I want to keep pushing because earlier this year, back in January, Breaking Up Brad and I, we did this family brick blast. A secondhand store, Brick House Resellers, invited us to host this family event, and we built Lego with these kids, and we gave them some mock advice. They asked us questions. It was so much fun. I was like, wow, these kids. I mean, this one kid came up to me being like, hey, Dom, what are you going to do about your house? And I was like, what do you mean I'm going to do my house? This kid having like 5 or 6. And he goes, your house. The Lego's breaking your house. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's referencing a video I did earlier this year, I think last year, where the 45,000 bricks that I won from Lego Masters put a crack in my dining room ceiling.
Right.
And I was like, that's crazy that this 6-year-old is watching these videos of mine and remembering them and asking them about me. So I was like, all right, these people,
they're
like
paying
what I'm
attention,
doing.
right?
They're paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm keeping their attention. I'm engaging with them. And I was like, that's really special to me, and I want to keep doing that. It's pretty cool.
That's beautiful, man. I love that so much. That is
Thank
very
you.
Inspiring. I was gonna say, how's the house doing with the bricks as well? Is that all right?
So it was advised by my father to move them in the basement. So that's where the majority of the 45,000 bricks is.
Okay.
It's in my basement, level floor in the basement. It's not gonna go anywhere. Hopefully a sinkhole doesn't emerge.
So you don't have a quick access from the top floor to the bottom, just hop down?
Not yet. I might install a slide out the window. Who knows?
Build out of bricks, man. Be resourceful.
I could. I have a lot of bricks. I have a lot of base plates. I have 1,000 base plates.
Holy shit. That's insane.
Yeah, I went a little crazy on them.
Mm-hmm.
I know Ethan in his last episode, he mentioned that, with his 45,000 bricks, he got like, I think 9 or 8 boxes.
Yeah.
For his bricks, I got 18 boxes of Lego, and most of those boxes were just for the damn base plates.
I love that. That is amazing. I feel like that's a flex when you can say that you have so much brick that it's breaking your house. Like
it is, and at conventions at Atlanta, I had at least a dozen people come up to me and be like, "Dom, how's the house doing?" And I regret making that video so much because I heard it so much.
People
I was
just
like,
keep
"Why?
asking about your house?
How's the house,
man?
How's the house? How's the house? Doing anything about that house?"
Friends, how's the house doing?
Literally. It's
amazing.
It's interesting, but the house will be fine. I don't think I'm gonna crash through my dining room ceiling anytime soon, if
That's
ever.
good. So, what is the long-term goal for your Lego career, if there is any?
Oh, the long-term goal.
Yeah.
That's something I'm still figuring out myself, but I have a rough idea. The rough idea is that I get content creation to be my full-time job at some point.
Nice.
Get that going, or at least enough income where I can potentially start taking classes and go to college and take classes in design or product management, because the long-term goal, my childhood dream that I never thought was actually accessible other than what I'm doing right now, because I'd say right now I am living the dream. But long-term goal is to move to Denmark and become a Lego set designer.
Yeah, same here, man. I love that.
I don't see myself doing that until I'm mid-30s, because I'm
really?
I don't know. I mean, if content creating does good enough, I'd like to make as much content as I can. I have a huge vault of videos relating to all sorts of topics and tutorials and useful things for anyone getting into Lego or want to know more about Lego. that's the dream of, I guess, content creation.
Question: could you not still do the type of content you're doing now while you were still working at Lego? Because you don't really do anything that I'm aware that really conflicts with like what they'd like allow you to do from working there. No.
I'm not sure. From what I've been told, like a lot of designers. I could be wrong about this. So if anyone is like knows a definitive, I know Lego designers. So someone from my season is a Lego designer now. So I probably should ask him.
All right.
Dave Geddes. Shout out to Dave Geddes for becoming a Lego designer.
That's awesome.
And I got to hang out with Boone during the holiday special. So,
Right.
But from my understanding is that because you're a set designer, if you post mocks or do mock content, it could be seen as potential set leaks or technique leaks.
But I've heard about technique leaks. That's a new one.
Exactly. That's this thing you don't think about.
Damn.
As an everyday Lego enthusiast.
No.
But it's one of those things that like I don't know. And then maybe by the point, I don't know if I'd ever get tired of content creation, but maybe a switch up of life as I get into a career of set designing or some sort of product design.
That's
Maybe
fair.
I want to go easy on the content, maybe retire from it. I don't know.
Yeah,
These are
have
all
something
things-
else to do rather than doing them both at the same time.
Exactly,
Right?
because Lego burnout is very much a thing.
Mm.
It's very much a thing. For probably like almost 3 years, I worked at a secondhand Lego store where I am located in Pennsylvania. And I ended up leaving, and on good terms, of course, back in September of last year, just because Lego. There is too much Lego when you work Lego for 8 hours a day and you want to do Lego content. It kind of conflicts with that. It was a little bit of a burnout.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy where I am now, and I still visit the store every now and then. It's a great store.
Definitely, but still, it's like there can be too much of a good thing as well.
It
And
very
it's about
much so.
balancing everything.
It is very much balancing, but like I like to have things other in my life about Lego. Like I go to the gym, I hang out with my
Exactly.
friends, and then play video games, and then I have time. I'll work on some Lego videos. Lego videos almost always come first because I do like making Lego videos again. I mean, there was a time. I think every content creator goes through this where depending on your perspective of it, if you treat it like a job, it starts acting like a job. And
Right.
if you don't like what you're getting out of it, then you might get a little unmotivated. And I felt that. I think after Brick Fair of last year, I ended up not posting for like a month or like almost a month and a half, just because I needed some time to myself. I needed to reevaluate a lot of things. And eventually I started like, man, I kind of miss making Lego videos, and that's what kind of got me back into it, is like that want to make Lego videos. That I want to make Lego videos. I want to start doing what I'm doing. I don't want to give up on this. I'm not just gonna leave it and be like, this is a thing that I did.
Right.
So I got back into it, and I wasn't seeing the same numbers because the algorithms are like, you didn't post for a month. Who the heck are you? But eventually I got them back. It just took some time with consistency, but. I'm very happy where I am with content now, but I'm not content. I always want to start doing more and try to grow more and put out more.
Always improving, right?
Always improving. Never.
Exactly.
Ninja never quit.
Ninja never quit. Exactly. Shout out to the Ninjago fans.
Shout out to Ninjago.
Love that. That's fantastic, though. I really like the mindset of like, you're doing good, but you can still keep improving and keep going forward as well.
There's always room to grow in all aspects of life, in my opinion. Whether it's work, school, job related, relationship related, there's always room to grow and improve yourself to become the best version you can be of yourself.
Definitely. Even the masters can still improve and learn new things.
That too. Sometimes the masters learn from the students.
Exactly. The student has become the master.
Yeah, that too.
Doing a bad impression of the really early on strange voice change of Wu in the pilots.
Yeah.
Brother,
Yeah.
well, father would not want you to do this, brother. It was a very strange switch.
They were really working on that character for quite a bit.
Definitely. If anybody knows, it was just a strange voice switch. Wu's voice was always kind of tilting on the edge of that stereotype a little bit, but then at this one scene at the end of the Ninjago pilot, it completely switched to full on just impression of. Mm-hmm. It was strange.
Bit of it was strange.
It was.
That's what pilots are for.
Exactly. All right, let's see. All right, so you mentioned it a little bit before, but what was kind of the story of getting on Lego Masters like? What was kind of the process of getting there?
All right, so let me say this in a way that I don't get in trouble by Fox. But so it all started with an Instagram DM,
Right.
because thankfully I started not too soon before I got reached out by Instagram. I started reposting my TikToks on Reels, and they were doing okay. They're doing all right, and that got enough recognition from a casting agent to reach out to me, and I legitimately thought it was a hoax. I thought it was bullcrap. I was like, why are they asking the goofy guy that at the time, Cool Guy Dom did not build mocks at the time. Maybe one or two.
Yeah.
I am not that much of a mock builder, but I built a lot of sets, and I did a lot of Lego live streams on TikTok. So I knew a lot about pieces, just never really thought to. I mean, I've always been interested in mock building. I've had a mock building setup for a while, but I've never sat down and be like, all right, let's sort a bunch of Lego and start building mocks.
You never done like a hugely dedicated thing to a mock before that, right?
Not yet. Eventually, I do though in the Dom lore, but
the Dom lore deep.
The Dom lore, but I get a phone call. I arrange a phone call with this casting agent, which is super enthusiastic about my answers. About that, sure, why not? We'll try my best thing with this. And I kept it under secrets, because you have to keep it under secrets. That's just how Hollywood works. I guess.
That must have been so hard.
It was insanely hard. It was the worst part about it. Because I don't like secrets. Secrets, it's kind of like lying, and I don't like lying because it's mean. Yeah. But
it's just so hard not to tell. Like, I'm on Lego Masters.
Yeah, and it was even harder for Ethan and I, and we'll explain to that in a little bit. But during this phone call, he's like, okay, if there's a certain person you want to go on to, who would you want to go on to? And I'd say, I want to reach out to my buddy Ethan the Artisan. He goes, anyone else? And I go, no. There's no one I can think of, and I hope I don't offend anyone by that, but there's no one else I would want to go on Lego Masters with than Ethan the Artisan. Because one, we're around the same age. I'm a little older than him. I'm like, I don't know how, I'm not going to do the math, but I'm a little older than him.
You're a bit, yeah.
But we had common interests. We both met through TikTok. We post short form content. We both like Lego Star Wars. We're both homeschooled. We're both redheads. We're both one of 3 brothers. So the similarities were there. So after this phone call with the casting agent, I quickly called Ethan, be like, hey, you might get a phone call about it by a casting agent about this opportunity. And I asked him, I was like, hey, I was wondering if you'd like to try to get on Lego Masters with me. And he goes, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said yes. He said we tried, because the previous 2 seasons, season 1 and 2, Ethan was already making Lego content by that point, mainly on YouTube around that time. But at the same time, he was like 16 and 17. He wasn't a legal adult yet, which if you have to be an adult to go on Lego Masters if you didn't know. But this was our chance. We're both old enough, and I've heard of the show, and I've met people from the show, and I was a big fan of the show, and now I have an opportunity to go on the show. So I was like, screw it, why not? We both went in with the expectations of, let's try our best, but if we don't get on, where it's not gonna hurt us. We're not gonna take it personal. There's a lot of people applying for this. We'll see where we go with it.
Right.
And a few weeks go by, and we both get an email, and there's a few different rounds of interviews, and eventually there's a big round of interview, the final round. We got lucky enough to get to the actual last round, and it involved a Zoom call, and we built on this. I'm not sure if I can say this.
Yeah, don't worry. If you don't think you can say it, it's all good.
Okay.
You don't have to go super in depth. You can just
I'm not going to go super in depth. The general thing, I'm going to go back to the general thing. But basically, Ethan and I, we go through these interview rounds, and we make it to the final one, and then we just wait. We just wait and wait and wait, and then one faithful day, we both get phone calls. You're gonna get flown out to Atlanta, and we're gonna see if you get. We're gonna get you to get on. We're gonna see if you want to go on Lego Masters, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And then we get there. And we see all these other contestants, and we bond with them. We talk about our stories, and we're doing wardrobe, and we're
Right.
getting our looks done, and then I think Ethan said this in his episode, but I'll sum it up quickly. But
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't listen to that.
two of the head producers come to us. Oh, I guess, how do I word this? Because Ethan and I eventually we do get on the show, but in a very unique way that's never been done before. And Ethan and I appear 3 episodes late into the competition, and a lot of people were not too enthusiastic about this. Ethan and I ourselves at first were not too enthusiastic about this, given because we Ethan and I, we learned from trial and error when it comes to building. I mean, I think a lot of people do. And when you don't have 3 episodes to learn the brick pit, the parts accessible, and just getting in the rhythm of your partner, you kind of lose. It's kind of, we saw it as more of a disadvantage. And I think a lot of people looking at it also see it as that. But
no, definitely.
But we make do with the situation. We still triumph through and we try our best.
You do. You did very well, honestly.
Yeah. I think we did pretty good given all of the circumstances considered. I think Ethan and I did a pretty good job.
Absolutely.
And in a sense, we came out victorious in some regards. How that all came to be, why we were 3 episodes late, no idea.
It was just like a producer decision, wasn't it?
It was a producer decision. And how they went about that, I wouldn't necessarily... Well, I'm not too fond of it. Given that we had no idea this was going to be a thing up until we got to Atlanta.
Right, because you didn't have prior notice. They didn't tell you this at the beginning. It was just kind of sprung on you, wasn't it?
Pretty much. It was just sprung on us, and that was very controversial, I think, as a word to use to describe that. But rather than saying no and going home and giving up on all this effort, we decided to heck with it. Let's see where this goes and make the most of our situation. And I think we did best. We may not have
mindset to have, honestly.
Yeah, we just kept pushing through. The sleepless nights, the long days of building. The food was not that good, but we still ate it for the nutrition. The midday naps we'd have. But we pushed through.
You did.
And to our second to last challenge, the camp challenge, the camp click-a-brick challenge. Ethan and I won this challenge when there was a prize attached to it. There was 2 mystery boxes. The one mystery box was the golden brick. The other mystery box was 90,000 Lego bricks.
Whew.
And if you have never seen 90,000 Lego bricks, it is a lot of bricks and honestly a lot of money too. We ended up winning 90,000 bricks, and we gave the golden brick. And there's a little, we had the option of like, okay, there's the golden brick. Who would he give it to now? We can only take the one prize. We have to give the other prize to another contestant, another team, and we give it to Brendan and Greg, which we can go into. I had a whole plan about that and why it should have worked, and we can go back to that later.
Yeah, if you want to, that would be interesting, but
because that's a fun story.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think it's cool. But we won 90,000 bricks, and then the next episode, we ended up getting eliminated because we were pretty burnt out by that point. And honestly, like we would have liked to gone home. We would have liked to say a few more challenges, but we won 90,000 bricks, which
you at least left with something physical.
We left with something physical.
The experience and the connections.
The experience and the connections overall were amazing. Like, I have long life Lego friends. I mean, I have Ethan. During Lego Masters, Ethan and I really bonded and we got close to each other, and we really learned who we are as people, ourselves, and about each other. And now I have a long life best friend. I mean, I see Ethan probably a few times a year, but at these Lego conventions. But I still cherish these moments that we have, even though we don't live. I mean, he lives in Houston, Texas. I live in Pennsylvania, outside the Philly area, but. We still manage to, spend time together at these conventions, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, so Lego Masters was a crazy, crazy trip.
I can imagine. It seems it, absolutely. I was gonna say it was really interesting with the coming in 3 episodes late thing, because I like heard about it happening before I got to watch the season, so unfortunately it wasn't like a full surprise for me. But I remember watching that, and it's so funny because I was trying to figure out, okay, why are they 3 episodes late? I thought that like I didn't realize it was a producer decision at first, so I was like, did like something happen with the planes, or did they like miss a plane, or did somebody like, screw something up in the back end, or what?
Nah, they were like, we need some flair to Lego
Some
Masters.
drama.
Let's bring in two TikTokers and see what they can do, and we built some dumb shit.
You guys genuinely though did amazing, especially for the disadvantage, because I know a lot of people were like, oh, they're like they get an advantage because they got to skip 3 challenges, but like you said, it's really more of a disadvantage because you don't get the time. We talked about this a bit on Ethan's episode too, but you don't get the time to get used to the area and the pieces and the people and the feel of everything. So it was a big disadvantage, but you guys did genuinely amazing even with that curveball. Like,
Thank
you. It was so fantastic.
I hear that a lot. I know Ethan and I still have people coming up to us, and I think a lot of people are starting to. I think a lot of through these podcasts, we've actually been able to like tell our stories, and I think a lot of people are starting to understand and come around it, being like, "Wow, you guys did do a good job, all things considered.
Definitely.
Good on you guys." We appreciate that. Reddit did not appreciate that though. Holy crap!
Reddit, whatever.
Reddit. Like flamed us apparently. I was advised not to look at it because I don't want to get my little feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reddit was not too fond of the whole 3 episodes late sort of deal, which
but like,
I
Reddit
understand.
Is Reddit. Come on, do we really care about what Reddit thinks?
You're exactly right. I do think it's funny that, you know, strangers on the internet are going to judge 2 teenagers as much as they do, given no insight of the situation.
Exactly. That's the issue. It's when people make such like harsh judgments with like having absolutely no
Nothing
knowledge
to go off
of the situation at all.
Like what are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you doing? Quit your yapping.
You could be doing better things with your time. You could be getting on Lego Masters.
You could, yeah. Instead of, you know, complaining about some kids on Lego Masters, why don't you pick up some bricks and get on the damn show yourself?
Exactly.
And then come and talk to me.
Get your brick on.
Get your brick on.
All right. I have a few more Lego Masters questions down. If there's any that you don't want to answer, because I know you have like a bit mixed feelings about it, just let me know, and I'm happy to not.
No, you're fine. You're good.
Yeah. So a question I have is, how does building for Lego Masters differ from mock building?
That's a really good question, and it is almost a completely different game. It is so. I mean, as a mock builder, you want to cram in detail and refine your mock as much as possible. But Lego Master has that time clock and does not allow you to refine the details, you know, invest in structure integrity. You know, you have to get an idea that correlates to the prompt of the challenge, and then you have to build that idea within the certain amount of time. Right. And then depending on your idea, if you don't have the time to go back and, you know, refine details, I mean, the thing is, like, if you really focus on the details, you could not have enough time to finish the mock at all. And then you're in the doghouse. Then you're going straight home.
And that has happened with certain people in the past, yeah. And I do think, like, I imagine that the editing team makes it, like, you know, more dramatic than it is. Like, oh, why aren't they focusing on the rest of the build? When really they are, but it's just the editing. But still, like, even so, I think as mock builders, you can often forget that you have a giant clock ticking and really want to make the small details worth it, where the issue is that, like, I've heard that that's not really going to come across on camera or make a big difference in the end, right?
No, yeah. The camera does not do it justice. When it comes to actually showing the finer details in the mocks on Lego Masters, and it's understandable. It's a 45-minute show runtime. You can't really show everything, but I'm a little disappointed in our Monster Camp episode because we had so many details. I mean,
you did.
We had the start of that challenge. We could not get an idea from pen to paper. It took us like an hour and 15 minutes just to start planning.
Whoa.
Just start planning our build, and we extremely quickly got it built in, I think, with like an hour to spare. And in that hour, we put in so many details of like minifigure scenes playing out throughout the build. There was the porta potties, and I put little monster feet poking out of the outhouses. That didn't get shown. I know in I know from Ethan's episode, he mentioned that we put a monkey in every build, and because of that, I'll go back a little bit because we built a pirate ship, monkey mutiny, great build. They blew it up. But from that point, we put a monkey in this style in all of our builds. And in one of the training parts of the monster camp, one of the dummies is in the shape of our Lego monkeys.
Oh, that's so cool.
You can barely see it. I don't even think you can. You're not going to see it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, like, with Lego Masters, bigger is better because they want something big because that's the first impression that you get. It's for that too. It's for TV. You're building stuff for TV. So, like, if I were to, like, build my Mushroom Village, I'll probably be at the middle. I'm not going to get bottom 2, but I probably won't get top 2 compared to someone that builds a huge mushroom house. If it's just one giant mushroom house instead of, like, a smaller village.
Definitely.
That's the thing. So it's very different. It's very, you almost have to, I think I have the advantage because I wasn't necessarily the biggest mock builder going into the show versus where I am now.
Yeah, I didn't realize that at first as well, which is even more impressive.
Thank you. I have a lot of sets. I built a lot of sets, and I mean, if you look at, we're gonna go off topic a little bit, but Robert and Chris, the season 4 winners of Lego Masters, they're not mock builders either.
Right? Yeah, but they've done amazing.
They won the damn show.
Yeah,
and it just goes to show that it's very much your mock building skills will come in handy if you have great mock building skills. If you look at the Australian season of the shows, the Lego Masters, the winners of those Australian seasons are almost all huge, incredible mock builders.
Right.
So it does come in handy, but I think you really can, if you've built a lot of sets, if you're more of a collector, and if you understand the pieces, and if you have great ideas and you're quick with your hands, you can do pretty good on the show.
Definitely.
And I think that goes into, I guess, the vibe of Lego Masters. It's not necessarily who's going to build the most detailed fish underwater ocean build. It's more who's going to be better with colors, better with the idea, and size.
Definitely. I remember, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was Mel from season 1 who said this somewhere, was that, the best mock builder is not going to be on Lego Masters. They're going to be in their basement somewhere working on their masterpiece. Yes.
He said, I feel like I've heard him saying that too. Yeah. The best mock builders are not going to be on Lego Masters. The anxiety from building within under 12 hours is extremely stressful.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be it's not going to be the best example of your work as an artist, because I know mock building is very much an art form, and if you have very high standards for yourself as an artist, Lego Masters might not be the vibe for you. But there are other benefits of going on Lego Masters.
Totally.
I mean, the glory,
the experience, right?
I was going to go into the potential business opportunities, but we'll go into the experience. We'll go to the experience first. The business. I love business. I don't know if y'all know about that. Me, I love business. I love making money moves.
I didn't know that.
I like business. I'm a little businessman.
That's good. That's really good to have.
I'd be negotiating all sorts of brand deals.
Trade offer.
Trade offer.
Exactly.
Dun, 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 dun. It's like that little.
The meme.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But no, the experience of Lego Masters is incredible. I mean, you basically get a family. I mean, this weekend as we're recording this is Portland, Oregon, Bricks Cascade, and a lot of the season 4 contestants met up there. And I was like, I remember doing that with season 3 people, and it's so cool to see other seasons doing it. It's a lot of fun, and it's this wholesome vibe because, I mean, during the when you're filming this, you're in this hotel with these other Lego nerds for a couple weeks, and you either stay in your room and brood when you have the time to, or you can hang out and have a good time. And that's what Ethan and I did our best to do. It was a good time.
Definitely.
But yeah, and then meeting them up at Lego conventions again is like a little reunion. It's very wholesome. It's very cute. It's a good time.
Exactly. All right, now you're allowed to talk about the business. Now that we got the sentimental stuff.
So the business, I will say, being on, I think Lego Masters has definitely helped the brand of Cool Guy Dom quite a bit with a lot of brand deal opportunities that I don't think I would have gotten if it wasn't for getting on Lego Masters. And I guess there's almost a sense of like, it's like a patch. It's like a Boy Scout badge. Like, oh, he was on Lego Masters. You're qualified to do this, or we're gonna consider you to do this, and it's great.
Definitely.
I value it so much more than I thought I would ever.
And you've had a lot of really fun like opportunities come from that, haven't you? Right.
I have. I mean, I don't think I would have gotten invited to do the family brick blast early this year because I mean I had kids and families, they love Lego Masters. I don't think I would have had an opportunity with Lego 2K Drive that I did.
Right, that was a big thing, wasn't it?
That was a cool thing. Very stressful because it was my first big brand deal. But no, yeah, and it's just a lot of fun. I get recognized at conventions, even outside conventions, mainly for Lego Masters. Occasional, oh my God, you're the cool man Dom from the Tic Tac. I'm like, yep, that's a me. And that's great, but no, I think the impact that I've had with Lego Masters has been really cool. I guess, I mean, another bright side of being introduced 3 episodes in is that's pretty memorable. Not for the best reasons, but it is memorable because they've never done it and they're never going to do it again.
Exactly. No, definitely though. It is like a memorable thing. It had that shock value for sure.
I was very shocked. I remember that episode and my phone blew the hell up.
I can imagine.
It was ba-ding, Instagram, text, calls. I remember Joey he was telling me like he remembers just watching the show. And by this point, Joey, Lego Master Model Joey, one of my bestest friends in the Lego community right now.
Yeah.
The other week, him, Atticus Bricks, Swole Bricks, they're at my house. We were doing a Lego, just a weekend, because they all live fairly close to where I am at. And we all had a great time. But Joey, I mean, we met at Brick World 2022. No, 2022. And then we hung out, and I think we roomed together with some other Lego people for Brick Fair, Virginia. And then we went to a convention in Brick Fair Exton, which no longer, they no longer do that one. Rip Exton. Yeah. But then, lo and behold, he had no idea. No idea I was on Lego Masters. He just thought I was some kid from TikTok.
Right.
That, loved the content that Joey was making at the time. Joey, if you're listening to this, please make TikToks again or something.
Yeah, Joey, come on.
Come on, Joey. Get on it. I want to see what you built in the Miniland today. But Joey all of a sudden sees Dom and Ethan, the kids from TikTok that he met at these conventions like months ago on his TV, and he was very surprised. Some people weren't surprised because
really
there was a little theories what happened to Ethan and Dom because of my format of content at the time was really easy to just put out and make as many throughout the day. Right. I was still posting every day consistently during the filming of Lego Masters. Oh. The thing that I wasn't doing that people were getting speculating of, I wasn't going live on TikTok building Lego sets.
And that's what you did a lot then, right?
I did a lot back then, and I'm trying to do it more now, but we'll see. But that people were like putting two and together, like, Dom's not going live. Ethan isn't posting as much as he is. Suspicious.
Interesting. That's cool that people like started putting 2 and 2 together there. Mm-hmm. Got some detectives in the Lego community.
Yeah, there were some detectives. I think Ethan himself is a detective. He managed to figure out, I can't say how he figured out season 4, but he pretty much figured out 90% of everyone that was on season 4. Somehow he managed to.
He told me that at Brick Fair last year. He was like, you know what? I think Duck Bricks is going to be on season 3. I was like, he is? And he was like, yeah,
and he was. I thought so. He is. I thought so too. I didn't think he was going to win it. But he did.
I got that spoiled for me a while ago.
I did too, eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's awesome, man. And I was gonna say as well that I love how like when they introduced you guys to Lego Masters, it was like they were.
It was pretty badass. It was pretty badass.
It was fun, but I love how they were trying to portray it as like the bad boy teens. It's just two of these really sweet guys just walking out.
I was gonna say, no, you brought the two nerdiest, scrawny, homeschooled, no social interaction kids on the show. Yeah.
It was really funny.
Not sure what the producers were going there for, but you know what? Hey,
it was great.
We had some fun moments on the show.
It was. I was gonna say, now I want to go into that more. So you grew up homeschooled, right?
I did.
And you and Ethan as well, and I think some other people in the Lego world that we know as well have. And that is so awesome to me. And like, because I also have grown up homeschooled my entire life. I was like, oh my God, wait, there's others like me?
Yes.
It was super cool. Yeah.
I was surprised getting back into Lego, like how many homeschooled Lego nerds there are, and I think it's one of those things where it's like just goes hand in hand. Like if you're homeschooled, you're home, you have more time for Lego.
You got time for what you enjoy. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that I think just go hand in hand.
It was so cool. I remember it was like, I think first heard that Brad was homeschooled, and we talked about that on his episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like Ethan, and I was like, oh my God, Ethan's homeschooled. And then I was like, oh my God, they're all coming. They're just appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours. I say when it rains, it pours. No, yeah, it's pretty cool how many
definitely
people I can relate to, and especially like you and Ethan and Brad.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask, so how do you think being homeschooled like affected your journey with Lego at all, your relationship with it, and if so, how?
I think so. It gave me more time to play, which is really cool because that was something that we focused on, was playing and not so much. Like I played video games growing up, but I had a select amount of time to play video games. And I, of course, I had my brothers that I had to share the Xbox with. Of course, it's my turn on the Xbox. It's his turn on the Xbox. It's now, what the heck?
That's when hands get thrown.
That's when controllers get thrown.
Oh, yeah.
But no, Lego was a cool outlet because it's a creative outlet. I mean, we had a big bin of bricks. Everyone could play. Everyone could share. As you do. But no, yeah, I think homeschooled, I don't think it's going to take away from anyone else's experience growing up with Lego, but I think maybe we have a little bit of an edge. We have more time with it, more training, more dedication. It's all about drive. It's all about power. We stay hungry, we devour.
Exactly. But definitely though, like you, because you got the time to like actually focus on it more, and like you said, to play and to enjoy just being a kid, right?
Yeah, I see. That's one thing I kind of want to go back to when it comes to my content. I want to inspire kids to just play.
Yeah.
I see a lot of kids, these godforsaken. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I see a lot of these iPad kids.
Yeah.
On their iPads, watching Subway Surfer videos and Minecraft, and like, why don't you play Minecraft? Why don't you build Lego Minecraft? I mean, I think some kids are, I don't want to say necessarily being robbed of their childhood, but I don't think.
I'd say so.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think some kids are being robbed of their childhood from these tablets and all these devices, and I think it's important for kids to truly use their imaginations and plays, because once they get older, they're going to have less time for that. And I think as an adult, I don't think I'd be who I am if it wasn't for Lego. I don't think I would be as creative, or my personality wouldn't have shaped to what it is now if it wasn't for playing outside, playing with Lego, playing with my brothers, being imaginative, having that creative outlet, and just having fun. I don't think I'd have that if I was an iPad kid.
No,
and I guess time will only tell what. Yeah.
I hope there's still a light at the end of the tunnel for the iPad kids.
I don't think so. I hate to be so negative about the subject. Who knows? We're not parents. We don't have kids. We're not teachers. So we're not. I don't think we're the best. I don't think we're the most qualified to really speak on the subject. But
I feel like we are, though, because we're kind of in the middle point of like not like we haven't. Well, I mean, like, you haven't been a full-on adult for a crazy amount of time, and I've only just turned 18. So I don't think I'm an adult, but like,
no, I'm 21. I don't think I'm an adult.
Exactly. Like, we're still in that very like middle point where we kind of have a bit of perspective from both sides. So I'd say like people around our age are actually very good people to observe that kind of thing, because we're still like far enough like out of being like a young kid that we can still remember enough of it, but we also have kind of more of the maturity to be able to look at things as kind of like a subjectively, not objectively, sorry. And
No,
things
yeah.
sound like that, you know?
Got you. No, yeah, well said. I think so too, now that you put it like that. It is interesting to see all these kids, but I think kids need to play.
Definitely.
Kids
And that's
need to
something
play.
that's something that I push for, you know, just with everything that I do, like in this space with the podcast as well, like for teens as well, to just be a teenager, like just enjoy being young and enjoying what you enjoy.
Yes.
There's so much pressure for like teens to
Grow
act
up too
older than they
fast.
are.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like a lot of kids try to grow up way too fast. I remember the shop that I worked at, we had some younger kids working at the store, helping out every now and then, and I see them every now and then, and like, wow, you grew up way fast, because when I first met you, you were 14, 13, still playing with Lego, and then they get into that dark age of their teenage years, and they completely put it aside, and I think a lot of it is because, I guess their image as a teenager and being judged and compared by their peers.
Exactly.
I don't think because you want to go hang out with some friends or, go on some dates, because, hey, girls, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Romantic interests.
Romantic interests. We've all been there. I don't think you shouldn't be ashamed or discouraged by Lego. I think it's something that is a good refresher. As a teenager, I wish I didn't get out of it as much as I did, but I'm very thankful that I got back into it when I did. Lego's cool. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Lego's cool.
It is.
It's so cool.
It is. It's the coolest thing.
It's the coolest thing ever, man.
Exactly.
But I don't think there's an age where you should stop playing.
No.
Whether
not.
I don't think it has to be Lego, but I think it's important to find time to chill out, do something you enjoy, involve your imagination, involve that brain of yours, and have fun.
Absolutely. No, and because there's such a thing, and it's not even just by peers, honestly. I think it's also by just parents sometimes as well, unfortunately. It's
yeah.
It's a thing of if it's something that's associated with being younger, it's bad, and therefore you are immature. And it's that's not the case at all. Being a teenager, teens are kids. You're not a legal adult even. And even
teenagers are hella immature. They're so dumb. I actually pretty much hate teenagers.
Wow.
I don't hate them, but I find them
sure
the
this
most
is my podcast for you, my dude.
I think the teenagers we were talking about, where they try to grow up too fast. I find that really annoying, because they're still really immature, but they still try to act cool and adult oriented and mature. It's very much you're putting up a front, and it's very easy to see that.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I see people my age and younger, which I get horrified by sometimes, might I say. But just that, they think they're acting older by doing whatever they're doing or acting however they're acting. But it doesn't make them look more mature. If anything, with any adult that I've talked to, they're always like, no, that's a sign that they're still young and a teenager, rather than just doing the things that they actually enjoy, not the things that will be socially acceptable in their group to enjoy,
Yeah.
It's about finding the people who will really encourage you for what you enjoy.
That's it.
And won't try to force you into doing things that you're not comfortable with or that you don't feel ready for yet,
That's a great way to put it. Don't try to be someone you're not.
No, exactly.
You're beautiful just the way you are, and it's okay to pick up some breaks. It's okay to just be. It's okay to just be 15. I think.
It is, definitely. I completely agree. That's one thing that I've always tried for in my life, to always just be where I'm at then. I remember my dad always, both my parents always told me don't try to grow up too fast. Just be happy with where you are. And I remember one time when I was 12 years old, I was really annoyed about something. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, man, I can't wait to be 18. And then I very quickly went, no, you know what? I can actually wait. I'm good.
I'm good. Taxes? Nah.
Taxes? Nah.
Nah,
I'm here
fam.
Now. We're 18 now. It doesn't feel real yet, but
it will.
It
takes to give it some time, but
But no, it's just being where you are in life. It's okay. There's no time limit to growing up. Right.
Yeah. Don't rush growing up. It's
Exactly.
something that I see a lot of people do, and I think they regret it.
Definitely. Let's see. So, before we move on from Lego Masters, I want to quickly ask, are there any funny Lego Masters, behind-the-scenes stories that you're allowed to share?
When it comes to behind the scenes stories, not too much of it comes to mind initially at first, other than a few things. Like I'm sure this is out somewhere that this has been stated, but Steven or Crash, before we would go on set, he would do like this hype up call where he would go, when I say Lego, you say Masters. He'd go Lego, and we'd all would scream Masters, and like 3 or 4 times, and then he'd go, let's do this, and he'd hype us all up, and it was awesome. It would really get our our blood going, and our vibes up, and that was really cool. I don't think enough people necessarily know that information from it.
That's so wholesome, though. I love
it. Is
that.
really
just
wholesome.
Like the family vibe and just like the mutual support.
There's a lot of mutual support. I mean, there was the fart war.
What?
Yeah, so the Stevens, the Doctors, Dave Geddes, and I think even Brendan and Greg got in on it, where they would like crop dust each other. If you don't know what that is, it's like when you walk by someone and then you fart.
That's terrible.
It was so stupid. It was the dumbest thing, and I don't know if I'm like exposing them, but I'm sure this is out on some podcast or they've said it to some people, but I don't care. I don't.
If not, this is the exclusive scoop.
This could be the exclusive scoop, but it needs to be said that there was a fart war, and I think Will Arnett even got in on it at one point, which is wild.
That's a flex. I got Will Arnett to join our fart war.
Yeah. No
one else has that story.
Will Arnett was so funny. Holy crap, dude's a hoot and a holler. Let me tell you something. He's a hoot and a holler. He's a funny, genuine guy. Really sweet. He does care about the builders.
That's good.
And I remember when anytime a team would get eliminated, he would find them and talk to them and like be like, you do. To Ethan and I, he came to us and be like, you guys did such a good job, and you guys have such a bright future ahead of us in your careers, and you just gave us some really good motivational like speeches, and it was honestly awesome. He was so nice.
That is amazing.
He also made
sweet.
He also made some interesting Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump jokes that did not make it on the show, of course, for obvious reasons. There was a lot of jokes that didn't make it on for reasons.
I've heard, yeah.
A lot of funny jokes. Some of the best jokes I've ever even heard in my life. Because he is a funny guy. Though. No, that's the thing. It's Lego Masters, but I mean, I don't think Will is gonna. He has the potential to be funny. He's gonna use it. All right.
Exactly.
Especially if a scenario is given to him. It's not necessarily our builds, but if you pay close into some other builds, you might see some more. How do I say this?
Interesting details.
Yeah. In correlation to a certain anatomy part. Let's just say that.
Wow. I sure wonder what that could be.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Good to know.
Just gonna leave it at that.
Now people are gonna go rewatch Lego Masters and just
It's probably not that much, but there was enough.
That's amazing though.
I guess an interesting story is during the monster camp, I had a plan. I had such a good plan when it came to giving the golden brick. Like when we won, I thought of this plan before we won, just in case we would. And we could tell the judges were not too enthusiastic about Nick and Stacy's build and Brendan and Greg's build. Brendan's and Greg's build, was pretty bad. I mean, the prompt of the challenge was a little confusing, but to build a camp for whales that want to fly, if that's their build, is crazy.
A bit confusing. I
Very
understand
confusing.
what you're saying.
But the technical aspect, thanks to Brendan, because he's a freaking engineer, was incredible. One of the best things I've ever seen in my life. In terms of builds and technical builds. It was really well done. I don't actually remember
the build. It's been too long since I've seen it. But like, there's a picture on screen for anyone.
Yeah, there's a picture on screen. It's whales and a giant tower that spins around and goes up. And then there's like a slide. But the judges, they can tell, the technical build was really good. But the actual idea, like the theming of it, was not what they wanted at all. So I was like, and we were like pretty close to them. So I could hear what the judges were saying. So I was like, all right, I think the judges are going to send these guys home. So if we get the 90,000 bricks, we give the golden brick to Brennan and Greg, because in the rules, if you get the golden brick and if you go to the bottom 2, the golden brick gets lost into play. It gets canceled out.
Right.
The judges, they take it away. So even if they don't go home, but they'll probably go in the bottom 2. So then the golden brick won't be used against us. We probably
That was so smart.
Exactly. But here's the thing. I should not have told my plan to anyone. See, I think I said it in an interview or at some point where someone else knew. And I'm not gonna point fingers or say what might happen, but during that challenge, it just so happened to be a no elimination challenge.
Oh, I see.
So my plan, my maniacal evil genius plan of getting rid of the golden brick was foiled, put to a kibosh, completely ruined. And that was unfortunate. It was unfortunate. I was like, damn, I thought I was so big brained. I think it was pretty smart.
I remember during the episode I was watching when you explained it, I was like, oh, that is so smart. I cannot wait to see how this plays out.
And then it didn't.
It was an elimination round. I was like, God damn it.
Exactly. What the hell?
I was rooting you guys because like the teen representation. I was like, let's go win Lego Masters, guys.
That's another thing. I think Ethan and I are the youngest teams to ever compete on Lego Masters at 18 and 19.
Definitely, no.
So
that's a huge achievement.
That's a bit of a flex. I mean, I think Drew he's 18 at the time. He was 18. I think he's technically, I believe he is the youngest because he was like, I think his birthday was in like December, so he was only a few months of 18. So he's a very fresh new 18. But
yeah,
in terms of a team, I think Ethan and I take the cake.
Definitely. And my last Lego Masters related question for now is Will Arnett actually Batman?
No comment.
All right. You can keep secrets. I like that.
Sorry,
all
NDAs. Right. You know how it is what it is.
You're not allowed to talk about that. That's fair. All right. So a few more kind of specifically TFOL related questions. So you kind of half answered this one, but were you once a TFOL? And if so, what was your experience as one like? Did people ever give you a hard time for being a fan of Lego as a teenager? And just what was the overall experience like for you as a teen?
Given that I got back into Lego when I was 17, I'd say I was a TFOL. I mean, towards the end years of my teenage life, I would get a little bit of flack from peers and people in my comments because I was still posting. And, being 17 and making Legos and posting Legos wasn't, I mean, it's a lot more accepted now, but given, like, even 4 years ago was still fairly, what is this? What is a nerd doing? Look at this guy playing with little Lego bricks.
Definitely, no. The pandemic really made even more people aware and into it and accepting of it.
It got way more accepted, and which is really cool, in my opinion. Given that, Lego's biggest push of marketing is like adults are welcomed, but why not teens are welcome? Let's remind that. But at the same time, I think it's more so like people. I mean, being a teenager, that's like the prime dark age because you're focusing on school.
It's a big gap in the market. That's what I keep trying to get across with this. I'm like,
absolutely,
where's the teens welcome?
Absolutely, but I think what we talked about earlier is like kids trying to grow up too fast.
Right.
It is what it is. I think.
No.
Maybe it'll change one day, but until then, who knows?
I see. So yeah, and so would you say like what was the experience being a teen fan for you like? Was it like overall positive, you'd say, besides a few of the kind of backhanded comments and all that?
I'd say it was positive. I've always been a creative individual, and I think I was able to harness some of my ideas thanks to Lego, and I think it my teenage years weren't the best overall, given some like outside life circumstances. So having Lego as an outlet was really nice. I think it was super cool because I can't spend every waking day, hanging out with my friends, but I can build some Lego, make some little videos about it. So
it's a nice escape and something
it's a very nice
escape. Put your efforts into.
And it's something to myself. It's something I can just take time for myself, build some Lego, have a good time, relax.
Exactly. I love that. All right, let's see. So, kind of looking back, what do you think would have stopped you from going into a dark age, if anything?
What would have stopped me? I think if Pokemon didn't exist.
Yeah.
I
Fair
had a
enough.
buddy. Well, this is when I lived in Florida for a little bit. I had a buddy. I think Pokemon Sun and Moon just came out, and I was getting back, into Pokemon. I was like, this game looks so cool. I want to play. I got a 3DS because of it. It's awesome. Played that, and then I got into the card game thanks to a friend that showed me. And then we started going to tournaments, and I love traveling, and I love social interaction, and I got more of that through Pokemon at the time than Lego, and it really gravitated me, and I was meeting a lot of cool people through Pokemon, and just learning a lot about, being not just about the game itself, but just how people work, and being a homeschooled guy. I didn't have a lot of, I didn't have the most in social interactions. Like, I had friends growing up, but, I think Pokemon was a lot more than that. And I got to talk to people from all different walks of life. Because Pokemon, the TCG aspect it's very much like Lego. There's people playing from all walks of life. How, in Lego, there's people building from all walks of life. So, you get to talk to people with different, careers, outlooks on life, ages, all that jazz. So I think I really like that, and I stuck with that for a good couple of years.
I see. So, yeah, it's all Pokemon's fault that you...
Yeah, it's all
you
Pokemon's fault that I went into a dark age.
Exactly. You see, Lego. If you had made Lego Pokemon back then, maybe Dom.
Yeah, I might have
went to a dark age.
I might have, stuck with the Legos. Oh well.
Exactly. But that's an interesting point you make there about how your interests just kind of shifted, and that's totally fine as well. Once again, it's like the point I've made a lot is Lego isn't a cult. You're allowed to take a break and enjoy other things. Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm signed up for this for life, dude. This is my I breathe, sleep, and eat Lego.
You eat. So what's the Lego cereal like? Because I know that discontinued product now.
Was there actual Lego cereal?
I don't think so. I was just making a joke, but
I know they had Lego waffles. Funny. Do you remember the Lego waffles?
Wait, hold on. I'm looking this up now. Is there Lego cereal?
Ooh. Welcome back to Lego Facts with Dom and Doodle.
There was there was a Lego brand. What? No. Okay. Nah. There's Lego cereal bricks. But there's no Lego cereal.
Damn.
Okay. Probably a good thing. I don't think studs are necessarily the best.
I was going to say, it's probably the best to not make your toy into a food with small children. That could get a little confusing.
Just a bit.
Bit of choking hazard. Who knows?
There's a reason they don't put bricks in Happy Meal toys anymore.
Yeah. That sucks.
It does, honestly.
The Lego McDonald's Bionicle toys were peak.
Absolutely. I wish I was born a little bit earlier just to experience Bionicle in its peak. I was born halfway through it.
I got into it as the last 2 years of it. So I had some of the Gladiator ones. I had the Bionicle Stars. I had one or two sets from 2008, and that was it. Then
I get that.
Hero Factory came around. I was like, this sucks. This is not the same.
Hero Factory.
I could not get behind it. I wish I did.
I understand.
I wish I did. But and then Bionicle 2015 came out. That was fire.
Exactly.
I have all the 2015 sets.
You liked it.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
You like Bionicle 2015? That's cool. That's not an opinion I've heard much.
I know. It's somewhat an uncommon opinion. But I think overall, Bionicle G2 is good.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, I want to ask you a bit about that. I had some Bionicle questions here. So why do you think G2 was good?
I think G2 simplifies Bionicle lore as a whole because it is the original Bionicle lore was a lot. It's a lot. I mean, Duck Bricks made a 9-hour documentary about the damn thing, where you can sum up, Bionicle G2 in probably an hour and a half, not even, if that. I mean, I think the downfall of G2 was the marketing behind it and maybe the price of the sets because. I mean, they were pretty expensive. I remember that, but at the same time, it was a full-on action figure that was very customizable.
There was a bit of a lack of depth to the story too, though. As well.
It
was quite surface.
It was almost too simplified. And I mean, if you weren't following, I think Bionicle G1 had the edge of early internet, and the
Yes.
the mysterious aspects of Bionicle, and the way Lego put out media then, where they had the online Matanui game, they had the CD-ROM discs that you'd get in canisters that would tell you about the characters.
So cool.
They had
the
books,
multimedia approach, right?
Yeah, they had the multimedia approach where, I mean, G2, I remember there was like a mask contest where you had to go out and look at real life objects to see if it was a mask. That was a contest. That was cool. But I mean, there was the web series on Lego.com, which those are fun cartoons. I don't think they're long enough and in depth enough, but they just it could have used a bit more oomph. But I think
to find a bit of a middle point.
Yeah, I think the toys overall, though, I understand it's very Hua Factory-esque, but I think the CCBS system, that's what Lego had at the time for their creature building stuff, and I think from his business standpoint, it doesn't make sense for them to bring back those old molds. Financially doesn't work.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Personally, I think the second wave of Toa was actually really good. I felt like they hit a really good middle point between CCBS and kind of the detail of the older sets.
Yeah, they had a lot more
pretty cool.
Technic. I like the Technic aspect of it. I had a couple of the second wave Toa from G2, but I think I ended up selling them to get Star Wars. Yeah, so eventually I want to go back and try to recollect them. But I have all the 2015 sets. I love the Skull villains. I think they're so badass.
Yeah, dude, Skull Archer. I still want that set so bad.
It's a good set. It
seems it.
Yeah. I like the. I don't know. I like the. I don't know. I just like Bionicle G2, and I could be just nostalgic because that's like I grew up with that, and I think those were some of the last sets I got before I went into my dark age. Yeah. I think the cancellation of Bionicle G2 actually put me into my dark age. I remember being depressed. I was like, because like they had the Netflix special
Journey to One,
and they had the first part, and I was hyped for the second part, and then I think the ending of Gen 2 sucked. I mean, the fact that that's literally the end. Like, we're done. The Bionicle, the Toa, back to the stars, which they could have, came back in some way, but Lego was like, nah, we're done. These toys are not selling. But when you don't market them,
definitely. So I have a kind of two-part question here relating to that. One, what do you think? Well, one, do you believe the rumors of Bionicle coming back in 2025? And two, how do you think Lego, if they were to bring back Bionicle, should go about it to make it kind of to best go about bringing it back? Kind of.
That's a phenomenal question. I think. I think the rumors, I don't know. I haven't really heard much myself. I've heard that there are rumors of Bionicle coming back in 2025. What that is, no idea. What it's going to be, no clue. How they could do it better.
Minifigures.
Funny joke.
Sorry for the jump scare.
Yeah, I was going to say, I ain't got nothing against mini dolls, but I don't think Toatahu's gonna look that cool as with those curves. I think the way that the Lego group can revive Bionicle is have a better multimedia approach. Involve content creators. Like if Lego would have hit me up like, hey, promote some Bionicle, bet. Absolutely. I'm going to cram it down some people's throat with my content.
Definitely.
I slowly am doing it now myself.
Exactly. Slowly infect the minds of the next generation with Bionicle. That's how you got to do it.
I think having...
Be the Krata.
Yeah, be the Krata. I think having a good story helps a lot with a theme.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like Bionicle walked so Ninjago could spin.
I love that.
Thank you.
That's so good.
Thank you.
Oh, that's great.
And I think if Lego were to just reuse that strategy that they used for Ninjago, I think why wouldn't it not work for Bionicle?
Interesting.
I don't know.
The strategy for Ninjago being like having the story behind it.
Having the story behind it and having a show, I think helps a lot. I don't know a proper show. Look at Chima. Look at Nexo Knights. Look at Dreams. Like they had. Although those, Chima and Extra Nice, they had the 3-year run.
Mm-hmm.
They did the 3 years. That's typically what Lego does for their themes. They give it 3 years. And then for those who don't know, Ninjago was supposed to have just 3 years and then canceled. But because of the popular demand of it, they brought it back. And it's been around for 11, 12 years now. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand. I think they really have to make the toys stand out and really market to the kids why you should buy it. I think with Gen 2's failure, I think they depended a little too much on, the kids that grew up with G1 Bionicle to get back into Bionicle. But by this point, these kids are in their 20s, 30s. They have lives. They're not going to be able to, they're not going to be, let me spend, it would have been like probably close to $200 on the team of Toa from Gen 2. And I think that's another thing. And I think the CCPS Gen 2 was just too expensive for what it was.
That was a big strength of the original Bionicle, right? It was like
they're affordable
$15 or less, and you could get like a fully fledged.
I mean, yeah.
Figure.
I mean, back in 2001, you can get Toa Tahu for like $8, $9.
Right. Oh,
that's crazy. It's crazy easy money.
That is.
So I think if they maybe downscale the sets a little bit, that could help. But have a good story, market it well, make it interesting. Don't just be like don't rely on nostalgia to sell toys. Yeah. Make the damn toys good. Make the characters good. And you'll have a good product. But at the same time, I'm not a project designer or manager. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a...
True, but you're the consumer.
I am the consumer.
That product stuff worked for.
True. So, I'm a consumer.
You are.
Give me
creator.
Give me good Bionicle and I'll buy.
Exactly. I really agree with what you said there, though. I think that, I never got into Bionicle properly, and I'm still trying to get into it now. But, I think really from what I've observed and heard from people say, what you're saying there is definitely it. I think the middle ground is very important, and just the having a proper story for people to follow that maybe isn't quite as complex as the original, because that's awesome if you're into it, it's really hard to get into. And... yeah, just having the proper thing that people can really sink their teeth into and keeping that sense, I feel, of, cool but not pandering. That's something that I feel like the original Bionicle did very well, especially at the beginning. Mm-hmm. The Paraka rap is debatable, but, You don't like
the Paraka rap?
I like the Paraka
rap. The game's on the loose. Nothing you can do. You can stop him, drop him. No, you're going to lose. Paraka.
Yo,
Paraka. It's fire
exactly.
Bars. It's my ringtone. It should be my ringtone.
It should be. What are you doing? Why isn't your ringtone?
It's Star Wars, because I'm a nerd.
Damn it. It should be your text notification. Just
yo, Paraka. Oh, I got a text from my mom. Let's go.
Love that. Yeah, I think what you said as well about having content creators also promote it. Because what Bionicle, its strength was adapting to what was new at the time with the multimedia approach, with the internet, all that kind of thing. That's obviously changed now. We're pretty much used to the internet. So I think doing what you said, kind of adapting to what's new now with having content creators help, not solely promote, but help to promote the brand, the product, whatever, would be great. And finding that sense of excitement and mystery again. And I feel like, once again, marketing to teens, because I think the general rule is the demographic that you're marketing to, you're also marketing to the demographic under them. And I think that's why the original Bionicle did so well, because kids would see the older, tweens and teens playing with it and be like, oh, that's the cool thing. It's that innate thing of wanting to grow up faster. But if they're doing it like that, that's a very good way of doing it, I think.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was a kid, I lived in New York City, so I saw kids in the playground playing with Bionicle sets, and I said to myself, that's big kid Lego. I'm going to play with that one day.
Yeah, there was a sense, I remember as a kid, there was a sense this is the upgrade, which really it's way more simple than actual system sets. But they're cooler looking, they're edgies, and they have swords, so that's cool. Exactly. That's pretty edgy. And I remember going to summer camp as a kid and having, there's kids that would bring their Bionicle, and they just battle in the park. Exactly. I don't know how many kids are going to do that today, but yeah. Maybe a cool video game alongside.
That would be good. Something like the
Lego Fortnite Bionicle. Bionicle Fortnite.
I need to see the flipping Paraka doing the gritty, honestly.
Oh my god. I need to get Toahahu in a dab.
Oh yeah.
Doing a layup.
That'd be fantastic. But yeah,
I want to see Toatahu no scope ninja Fortnite.
Yeah. That, honestly, I need to find like, I hope somebody has done a mod to like put Bionicle song in Fortnite.
Just totally what cranking 90s.
After this episode, I'm going to, because I know they've done it for other shooter games.
Yeah,
I'm going to look that up for Fortnite after this.
I don't know. I think Bionicle definitely has a very popular, although niche community. I mean, we still have, solo developers creating games. I mean, we have
exactly.
I can't remember, Legend of Matanui or Legend of Konoe. I can't.
Masks of Power.
Masks of Power. Like that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, then we have Essinger making Fire Bionica songs.
Breathe me in. The world outside is dying.
Yeah, it's so good. Jinx. The core Bionicle community still exists. There is still a following.
It's also, they could go back to it because Bionicle was, once again, it's one thing that I really like. I talk about a lot, and it's something that I talk about in like my latest video as well with Monkey Kid, is that it managed to break out of just the Lego community, and it became a cultural icon. You know, like it is one of the things that even people who have no interest in Lego know from like the early 2000s, 2010s.
Yeah,
it's like Bionicle is one of those things, along with the other.
Bionicle was popping. It was huge. It's huge.
Exactly, and it's important when you can get past just the Lego community. That's when you know you've done it.
That's when you start. I think it also goes for content creation. Is when you can get past the Lego community and start appealing to non-Lego fans or people that really have no interest in the Lego aspect, but they're seeing something cool. They're seeing someone passionate, and they're like, I'm gonna watch this video.
Definitely. So if Lego was going to start focusing more on teens, like they have with the whole Adults Welcome campaign, what do you think they could do for TFOLs?
I think price at admission is an issue. I mean, as a teenager, it's going through high school, so you have more hours there, and you have to do more homework. But if you can make cool sets that aren't as expensive as they are now, I think that would help a lot. And I think we could see a big boom with teenagers getting back into Lego with Lego Fortnite. The rumors of the sets.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of teens. I was a teenager playing Fortnite when I was 15, 16. Oh my God, I was cranking 90s like all day, every day. Holy crap!
Has Fortnite been around for that long?
Yes. Yes, it has. It's getting up there. It's getting up there. But I think we're getting better. I think Lego's getting better. I don't think they're gonna out publicly recognize that there is a lack of support for teenagers. But I think cost is a big thing. But I also think maybe marketing would help a little bit.
Definitely the marketing.
Marketing would help a lot, because if you show, I don't know how to do it because I'm not a marketing genius, but I mean, if you're saying Adults Welcome and slapping that on every other box, why not give something for teenagers? Teens welcomed. I don't know if that's too on the nose.
I see what you're saying there, and I think something like that definitely, because one thing I realized while we were talking is, and I kind of thought this before, but never like really as clearly as when we were talking about it earlier, is that making a space where they're saying it's okay to like this, making a place where teens feel like it's okay to enjoy what they're enjoying with Lego, whatever it be. Not making it pandery, but just like making a space that they feel comfortable enjoying this thing, because inevitably there is peer pressure and there is still outside judgment. It's just a kind of reality of what things are like in the world. So creating a space where people can feel safe enjoying the things they enjoy, I think that would be a really big thing for teens, whatever that could be with that.
Yeah, just giving them a place to be like, all right, I'm a teenager, I'm gonna build some Lego, and I don't have to be afraid about getting judged or ridiculed or backhanded compliments about it. Is if that's something Lego can control, who knows? If that's something people just need to not think about as a teenager. That's the thing with teenagers. You're going through that awkward stage in life where you're really self-conscious about everything about you and others. It's hard to push out those thoughts and just really ignore what other people think and really just focus on yourself. I think that's some big advice, I think, to anyone, teenager or not. Just focus on yourself and don't take into consideration, or I guess don't take into heart what other people have to say about you.
Definitely. Be able to like hear it and not let it upset you if it's something, judgmental or something like that.
Constructive criticism is needed. I think some people need to be able to accept that constructive criticism is a thing and accept it and try to grow from it and not necessarily completely push it out, but don't let it change who you are, like, on the dot.
Definitely. I agree. I think that leads very well into the last question of the show, which you might have already answered, honestly, by now with that. But for the final question, do you have any advice for TFOLs?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of advice, given that I was a TFOL myself.
Nice.
I mean, you're going to be judged, but at the end of the day, it does not matter. What matters is what you have and who you are as a person and who you're going to be. Because you're still growing up. You're still learning and growing as a person. So just do the things that you truly enjoy, but don't be afraid to push yourself at those things. Trial and error is completely normal, and failure is completely normal. You're going to fail a lot. Like, a lot. And that's okay, because failure is in my opinion, life's greatest teacher. I have failed tremendous amounts of time, social media, outside of social media, and every time I've learned from it. In relationships, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fumble the bag. You're gonna miss a baddie, and that's okay. It is what it is. There's plenty of fish in the sea, so don't worry about that. But also, that's what I'm trying to go into with that one is don't let someone else or some other people's thoughts change who you are or who you're going to be. You're not going to necessarily know exactly what you want to do or who you want to be. So it's important to maybe find some inspirations, find some idols to look up to, and just try to just observe. I guess just learn. Keep your eyes open, and I know myself struggle with this. Where as a teenager, you think you know everything, you don't. And I know you've probably heard that before, if you're a teenager. But don't ignore it. Just accept it that you don't know everything. It's okay. That's the beauty of life, is you constantly learning and taking in new information and growing from it.
It's almost a blessing to not know everything.
It is a blessing not to know everything, because it keeps things exciting to learn something new. What else advice do I have? Get a job.
Get a job.
Get a job. And work. No, I'm serious. Get a job and work hard at it. It's not the easiest thing, given you're a teenager and you don't have the most free time for it. But have something that you can work towards. Have something you can work for that has a reward at the end of the tunnel. And build up that character. Build up that confidence in yourself that you can start something and finish it. And if you can't, you're going to learn something from that and put it towards the next thing.
I think that's fantastic, man. I absolutely love that.
Thank you. Hopefully people can digest it and it wasn't just a bunch of blah, you're young and dumb, but learn.
No, dude, that was really fantastic advice, honestly.
Thank you.
Really genuine, honestly.
Thank you. I tried.
So, yeah, of course. And thank you so much for coming on the show, Dom. It was awesome having you. And before we end this episode, do you have any social media or other things of the sort that you'd like to plug?
Oh my gosh, I love plugging myself. Well, I'm mostly active on Instagram and TikTok, but stay tuned for my YouTube channel because I will be posting more there. My social media handle is at CoolGuyDom02. If you want to learn about the 02 or the name itself, that's a story for another time.
Nice.
In terms of
on your follow-up episode, whenever that is.
I will be going to a lot of conventions. I will be going to most, if not all, of the Brick Fan Expo conventions, so stay tuned for that. I will eventually have some promotional tickets that you can use. I think my next convention is, I don't know when this is coming out, but if you're, I think mid-April.
It'll be a few weeks.
Mid-April. Brick Universe Rochester. I'll be going up Brick Universe Rochester with some other content creators like Breaking Up Brad, Maddox Bricks, and then I think this might have already passed, but I'll be doing a grand opening for a Bricks and Minifigs in Wisconsin. So just stay tuned for that. I mean, always keep an eye on my Instagram stories. That's where I post. Anytime I'm doing something relatively soon, I typically post it there. I think that's it. Just follow Cool Guy Dom on all social media platforms.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. It means the world, and I hope you enjoyed. Links to some of the things and people we talked about will be in the description as always. New episodes now released once every 2 weeks on Tuesdays for TFOL Talk Tuesday, and you can find updates, announcements, and more regarding the podcast over on my Twitter or Instagram, both of which are @DoodleBricks. Anyways, that's all for now, and we'll see you all later.